This is my first video of 2024. It's already been a ride. I've learned so much already in 3 weeks leading into this new year of 2024. And it was a struggle at first. I'm not gonna lie. In this video, I'm gonna tell you how you can make this year, 2024, the best year of your life. And I'm also gonna be talking to myself too. So welcome to the channel. If you're new, my name is Ashley. On my channel, Ashley in Africa, I talk about living and doing business here on the continent of Africa. I live in South Africa, beautiful Johannesburg to be exact. And I'm also the founder of the Africa Investors Academy, a community of entrepreneurs and investors doing business and growing businesses location independently, right? All over the continent, all over the world, with the intention of building the continent of Africa. So if this content is interesting to you, you like this type of thing, you like the vibe, or you're just interested in how you can make your 2024 the best year of your life, stay tuned, like this video, share it with someone who might find value in it if you like it, and then subscribe to the channel if it's your vibe. We'd love to have you a part of the community. We're growing. I spent my holiday in the village of Masinga of KZN, and when I got home, there was so many things happening and changing that I needed to gather myself. Matter of fact, to bring myself towards myself. We'll get into that later. But as you know, I have my notes and I want to make sure that I'm sharing. This is all based on my personal experience and things that I'm also talking to myself about. Number one, we have to release this guilt and shame thing. When I tell you I've really struggled with guilt and shame for a really long time in my life, it's likely something that stemmed from childhood. And while my childhood isn't necessarily my fault, it's my responsibility and your responsibility to heal today. Okay, so while your childhood is not your fault, it's your responsibility to become a better person and heal from those things today so that you don't repeat them. And I also learned that the vibrations of guilt and shame are actually the lowest vibration. And I want to say I pulled up a chart and was really trying to work through some of this early in the year. And honestly, I was getting emails from my colleagues in the US on Jan 3, and I was like, then Jan 4, then Jan 5, and I'm just like, I'm still in today. On Jan 25, I'm still in holiday mode. I'm easing my way back in. But there were all these things of guilt and shame around different things that were happening in my life that I needed to release. And am in that releasing energy of, because once I saw that diagram, that guilt and shame carry the lowest vibration, where the highest vibration is gratitude. I was like, okay, well, I know gratitude and I know what that feels like. And this guilt and shame doesn't feel great. And I'm not sure how that might show up in your life, whether it's in your relationship, in your job, as a parent. I know I was struggling with some guilt around single parenting or solo parenting. It's just not hitting for 2024. So release it. Ways to do that? Well, journaling, meditation, therapy, really figuring out why the guilt is a thing in your life, why the shame is a thing in your life, and working through that process have been things that have really helped me, and having like-minded people around me to talk through things. That has been very important. And that leads me into the number 2 thing. Having help and asking for it is not a luxury. It's a common custom. It's customary. This is something that I've been learning as I've been living here on the continent of Africa. As a Black American woman born in America from the West, we are just taught to self-sacrifice at all costs. We're taught to not complain, to suck it up, to stick it out, to stick it through, to, be strong. And having continuous in-house help is such a taboo unless you're the wealthy of the wealthy and you really don't care. And I struggled a bit with that. I struggled with accepting the help that I was getting and asking for it. And while I still do a little bit, like this is me also talking to myself in the process, asking for help and saying this is what I need is such a strength that I'm learning and communicating and telling my children, right? Tell me what you need. Tell me what's wrong. Tell me how I can help. Because I can't read their mind. But it's such a beautiful thing when my children can do that, even if it's like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with this right now," but it's because I'm teaching them that. And so I'm learning from them in the process of teaching them and sharing with you all that asking for help and accepting help is customary. It's a strength. And I'm leaning into that in 2024 because acceptance makes a difference in so many things. For me, I find that acceptance is like when I'm really in my feminine energy and my strong feminine energy, I'm accepting, I am receiving, right? And I like that place. So you can tap into that too if you're, even as a divine masculine, like because we have both, that level of accepting of help is a strength that I am leaning into in 2024. And the next thing, probably the most important thing that I learned this year already in 2024 in the last 3 weeks has been knowing that I am the most powerful person in my life on this earth, in this dimension, this 3D dimension, this physical reality. I am the most powerful person, the most powerful creator, meaning everything that's happening around me, for me, is because I am creating that thing. And if I don't like it, then I need to shift something. Something I'm doing is bringing about the experience that I'm having. And knowing how to move yourself through that experience so that life looks the way I want it to look and the way you want it to look is all up to you. This realization struck me like a bolt of lightning when I was reminded of that, because these aren't things that I haven't heard, that I haven't spoken. But in this beginning of the new year, I was just moving slow in that energy, and somehow it just dwindled into the back of my mind for days. I was kind of stewing and ruminating in this energy that wasn't positive, and things weren't great. They weren't bad, but they weren't as joy-filled that I'm used to. And I had to remind myself, like, this is not the vibration that we want to be in. And so because of that, something needed to change. Shifted my eating, made sure that I was back in my gym, made sure that I just got my routine back together. Now, as I'm speaking through all of these things, I had some personnel changes, I had some business changes, and all of these things were happening. But as a result of what I was creating in my life, I needed to impact and impart a level of order into my life so that I could shift things to look the way that I wanted them to look. And after all of these things, I just turned the switch on. Everything started to open up. I'm talking about everything. So we're gonna get into that at the end of the video, because I know you wanna know what I've been up to, because I haven't posted in a few weeks, and it's really been because I've been working through these things. But another thing that I also had to remind myself was to get back in with my tribe, reconnect with my tribe, the people that pour life into me, and the people that will pour life into you. When you're feeling discouraged, when you're feeling down, you need that community of people that are for you and for your highest self, for your light, not draining your light, not jealous of your light, not questioning your light, but figuring out how they can position your light to shine brighter. And so those were the people that once I started getting my energy together, because I had to get those first 3 before I could enter into my tribe, because that's just a vibration that we keep and we try to hold with each other. It's not always, right? But it's really important to bring in what you want to receive from people. So when you're down and you're complaining and you're sad and you're fearful and you're doubtful, that isn't the highest vibration. And so the people that can possibly help you the best, they're at this vibration. You're here with the fear and the doubt. They can't help you. So it's figuring out how you can level up to get to the vibration of abundance and attracting of the good and the joy and the gratitude and the happiness of your life, where the things and the shifts really happen. And so when I'm talking about shifts, I'm talking about collaborations started pouring in, y'all. Opportunities started pouring in, more members to the Africa Investors Academy, more locations, more dates, more countries want to get involved. I mean, private sector, public sector, academia. It's been a beautiful start to the year. So many lessons learned, so much gratitude that, yeah, I can't wait to get started. And so if you have an interest in being in a community of like-minded people that are building businesses remotely, independent of wherever you don't want to be in the world, but have a desire to serve, have a desire to help people experience things, whether it's through tourism, natural food, through agriculture, exporting from the continent to the global economy, personal or professional development, or creating content, we'd love to have you in the community of our tribe. There are so many other tribes and communities of people that are doing this type of work. But if you align with our values around tourism, agriculture, personal and professional development, and content creation, and you also want to see the continent of Africa be the most powerful continent of the 22nd century, we would love to have you in the Academy, the Africa Investors Academy, because we're doing amazing things. We're releasing an incredible schedule of member-only events coming very, very soon. We've got some live events happening here in South Africa, in both Johannesburg, East London, very soon. I'm so excited. Durban, KZN, and maybe even Limpopo. So if you have a desire and you want to collaborate with the Africa Investors Academy, also connect with us, contact me through my email, and register on africainvestorsacademy.com. We'd love to have you in the community as a member or an advisor to our global network of entrepreneurs. Until the next video, I'll see you soon.